Okay, let's talk a little bit about travel and safety in Cuba. I know some people are reluctant to come here for safety reasons. Let me just say this is probably the safest place in all of Latin America to travel, of an extraordinarily safe destination. Much of that is due to the fact that there's plainclothes police everywhere, and so if you say boo as a tourist, they're going to come out of the woodwork, and the Cubans can actually get in quite big trouble for harassing the average tourist. So quite safe place to travel, and really some interesting things happening here. One of the curious things I always say is about the license plate system they have in Cuba. Now there's three types of license plates here. There's the black diplomatic plates, so those are people who are diplomats from other countries. Then we've got private plates. So there's very few private vehicles in Cuba, but if you do see them, they'll have yellow plates, meaning that they are privately owned vehicles. And lastly, the most common would be your blue government plates. Virtually every vehicle in Cuba has a blue government plate. And an interesting story here, if you do have a blue government plate, you're required to pick up every single hitchhiker you see along the way. So it's not uncommon to see, cars filled to the brim, people sitting on the back, because the people were required to pick them up. They had a government issued car. There's the local transport in Havana. These are called camelas. This is generally how the local people get around the city. A little bit difficult to get on these vehicles for tourists, but quite fun if you can manage to get on one. This is actually what generally the tourist transport looks like. Okay, now it is quite nice if you can go with the group and rent a local vehicle, okay, or a small shuttle with a local guide who can take you around, just so that you can get a bit more of a local feel as you travel through the country. And, one of my favorite things about travel in Cuba is the propaganda. And I'm not talking about, they would say our propaganda is Nike and Reebok, etc. Here, propaganda looks like this. You might see Che Guevara's face all over the country. And you'll also see some pretty interesting banners, many of them criticizing the U.S. So this one here says, patriotism or death, we will prevail. We have this one, long live the work of the revolution. These are just banners I saw around the country when I was there. Here's a fist punching Uncle Sam with the word blockade underneath. Thought that one was quite neat. This one says, here we have a girl, and she's actually missing the violin, and it says, but they'll never take away my music. Quite dramatic there. Now, the most probably extreme propaganda I saw is this little bit here. You can see here, this was a 6-meter banner in central Havana of all the atrocities at the Abu Ghraib prison in Iraq. And at the end there, it says, fascists made in the United States. So some extreme stuff too. So that's it. Hope you learned something. Thanks for watching. Check out my website, www.kevinsworldvideotour.com.